What's up, my friends? John Hiley here with Tactical Dent TX. As you can see, we have a massive door dent with a little bit of paint damage in there that a lot of that will buff out. But you can see the door damage goes all the way from that corner up there into the middle of the door. So one of the very first things we do is detrim the door. We got the plastic off around the damaged area. Now we're going to take off the interior plastic. So first the exterior and then the interior plastic, because we're actually going to go ahead and pull this door off the vehicle. Our technician, Tim, he takes off the plastic interior panel there, all the disconnections, all the wires disconnected, and then takes off the interior plastic panel. So now we're going to go ahead and unbolt it from the door hinges, completely disconnected, and now it's completely unbolted. And Tim is going to, is literally a one-man army here, is going to put the door right there on the stand. He does this every day. You can see, again, a little bit of paint damage we got to contend with. There's a tiny little crack under one of them scuffs, but all in all, it buffs out about 99%. You can see here we're going to be using Keco. This right here is a Keco product it's called tab straps. And this is the K-Power system that we're going to be doing what's called a little bit of lateral tension. Lateral tension's interesting because a lot of these repairs would be very hard to fix without using lateral tension. So I'm going to prep the vehicle panel first with a little bit of alcohol. And now we're going to go ahead and glue on the tab strap. Go ahead and pump some glue on there. So this particular glue that I'm using, it's not collision glue. I just didn't think that I would need to use the collision glue on this specific one. This is actually a glue from Anson PDR. Anson PDR tools called Pink Snappy. Probably not the best glue to be using lateral tension, but it gets the job done. And I'll show you why it's not exactly the best glue, but it does get the job done. So we'll go ahead and add a little bit of that to our second tab. And this is in a interesting area to perform lateral tension because the panel is not exactly even. So I'm going to be using kind of this, I like to call this the T setup. Okay, go ahead and press the glue down. And here, just really touching the glue tabs to make sure that they're curing and they're bonding to the panel and kind of aligning them to our K-Bar setup here. So you can see you got the K-Bar on, hooked up, and now I'm going to use an impact gun to, there, shot the glue tab right off, okay? So this right here is where an occasional, hey, you know what? This is real life, and real things happen. So this is probably why I should have took the time to use collision glue. But again, you live and learn, and I'm just going to go back at it with this Pink Snappy one more time, and you guys will see it will do just fine here in a moment. Problem is you got to take all the glue out of your guns, and you got to pump new glue in there, which led me to solve the problem, and it's Black Friday right now, and I just ordered a couple new glue guns. Okay, we'll go ahead and drop that into place again. And just give it another go. Okay, this is just me aligning the tab with that Keco K-Power bar. All right, now you can see cranking into it, kind of getting it settled in. Now we've got it aligned. And right there, that movement right there actually took a lot of tension out of the panel. So now I'm going to be able to go in there with this cold glue setup. This is the original Sergio's cold glue. This is the very first, not only cold glue, but the very first cold glue slide hammer that ever came out. So now you kind of see that I actually got that body line up. That was the key to this repair, is getting that body line up. And now everything on this panel is just beginning to stabilize. You can see I went in, I did a few little pushes from underneath. Now I'm actually doing a little bit of knockdown work. There was a lot of crowns, a lot of buckles on this panel. As you can see, a lot of it came out just with a little bit of pushing that I did, and then also a little bit of that lateral tension. Now you can kind of see that little scuff right there. I actually was able to just run a quick little bit of compound over the panel to clean it up. And you can see there's a tiny little scuff there, but it's literally almost unnoticeable. The client, when we were finished with this repair, didn't even notice it. So, yep, I pointed down there at the bottom because that's an area that's going to give me a little bit of trouble. I'm going to attempt to do some cold glue pulling with it. This right here is actually the Sticky Icky Glue slide hammer, which is incredibly nice, just incredibly nice from Sticky Icky, and then also the Sergio's Gold Cold Glue. So now you see me going in, doing a lot of knockdown work. I didn't get a lot of pushes on this one recorded, but I basically just stuck my hand up underneath and pushed up. You can see a lot of that panel is coming back to shape, so now I'm going to go over here and work on the dent that was in the middle of the panel. Now this is what you call indirect damage. Essentially, the impact was down there on the corner of the door where it was the absolute worst, and then this was just the wave rolling out from that initial impact and getting caught up here at the top of the door where the steel tends to bend. It not only did a dent appear, but it also captured what we call a crown, or some people call it a roll buckle, or some people call it a eyebrow. There's all kinds of industry jargon, but essentially that is a low that is tucked up beside a wave, kind of like a wave frozen into the panel. And so what I'm doing is I'm pushing the low up into the high spot. And you can kind of see here very, very close here that these are all soft tip pushes. So although this might look a little aggressive to you being a viewer of this, these are easily knocked down and it moves metal fast. So I'm looking to move this metal very quickly before I get into the meticulous work. And what I'm doing is I'm setting it up so the crown, which is on the back side of the dent, you can kind of see me pushing on the back side of it. I'm setting it up so that crown actually has somewhere to flow and it has somewhere to go after I'm done in here doing my pushing. And so there's a lot of pushing, a lot of tapping. I'm not going to take you through every single aspect of what I'm doing here, but I'm just letting you know that little by little, I'm able to just get in here from that wiring harness on the inside of the door and push that out. So yes, that is a wiring harness, a hole that I'm going through there and pushing up and pushing out. So it gives me perfect access that I can look down across that panel. I've got my light set up, and I'm really able to push that out from this perspective. Very nice. I mean, I couldn't even imagine trying to do this on the door. So the way we used to do it, incredibly hard. So now that I've got that low out, I'm going in and I'm using this soft tip green tip from Anson Dent Tools. This is traditionally meant to be a pushing tip. I can't remember what the name of it is, but it is a great knockdown tip because it's so soft and it just moves the metal down very smoothly without creating a bunch of holes and unnecessary work. But at some point, you're going to have to switch out to a sharper knockdown, which here I'm going to be using a plastic tip knockdown. And I'm going to be in there just taking down that line, blending in all the little highs, blending in the little highs and the little lows. And from here, we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of blending. So you can see I'm stepping back with the Tactical blending hammer here. This is the titanium edition. Very rare to have one of these. I only made 100 of them. But stepping back to do a little bit of blending. And now at this point, we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of 2000 wet sand polishing on here. Not only is this important to just clean the finishing work of the dent and completely clean it, but it's also important because we've been working on this panel. So we want to polish up this clear coat. So I'm using this Rupees polisher here. And we want to polish up this clear coat and bring it back to better than original condition. So now you can see I'm doing a little bit of 2000 work down here. Now that's where we had that big paint scuff. There was a lot of paint marring. And honestly, there's just a lot of work that was done to, this part of the panel that needs to be cleaned up. A little bit of 2000 grit can go a long way. So now I'm, again, buffing it with the Rupees polisher. and just taking my time here to get every single little 2000 grit mark out of there. And now I'm going to switch it out to the Milwaukee because I'm going to buff this whole panel. And now I'm using a polishing compound. So we start out with a regular compound, and now we're using a polishing compound to brighten up that panel and just make it look absolutely brand new again. So now I'm going to give you a little blast from the past here. This is what we started with, my friends. Big, nasty dent, crunched all the way into the edge of the panel. Big old gap in the plastic there, you can see. And big, nasty dent up there at the top as well. So both of them just absolutely terrible. And I'm going to take you outside. We actually got this parked ready for the client to come in here and get the vehicle. But take a look at that. I'm showing you all the reflective. This is what it looks like when you get it outside and it's out there where you will see your vehicle each and every day. And you can see the middle of the door came out great. The bottom of the door came out great. All the plastic fits tight up to the vehicle again. And my friends, as usual, I'll see you on the next one.